All right, welcome back to another PCBH Corner, and I'm excited because I was hoping to maybe start out the year by what most people have done this year, is asking Bridget, what are you excited about and what are you looking forward to in 2022?
So many things to start off. But professionally, I guess we'll start there. I'm looking forward to standardization amongst the team. I think that we are finally in a position where we have really good ratios, which we will be talking about very soon, about BHC and PCP ratios. We're finally at a place where we have good ratios, and I'm just excited for us to become even more of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with that, is that I'm excited particularly for CHCW. I'm always excited for the things that are happening at CHCW, but there does seem to be a next iteration that we're entering into where it's not so much a startup anymore. We talked about that in previous PCBH corners where, doing PCBH can seem like a startup at the beginning.
Right.
And now it's kind of like, we're kind of here. We're kind of able to do this. So now standard execution, make sure we're doing things. As you said, the ratios are working out. I agree with you. I'm really excited for that. As far as Beachy Bauman and consulting stuff, I'm excited for our PCBH week second installment that are going to be coming down in August. I'm really looking forward to that, talking about contextual interviewing and the leadership development. I'm always looking forward to that.
I've been wanting to do a specific focus on the contextual interview for a long time now.
And we get asked that a lot about doing the contextual interview.
And on the CFHA podcast, I think it was February last year, we did a special segment. It was like, I think about 15 minutes on the contextual interview. And that was a really cool opportunity to talk more about that. But really kind of having where there's not really a time limit. That's what I'm really looking forward to, because it's 4 hours.
4 hours solely on contextual interviewing, which
right.
We're going to be able to get into the details of, which I think will be really great. Last question I wanted to ask related to this. We always talk about, approaching things intentionally and approaching things just in a way that isn't lackadaisical, that, there's a focus to it. How do you go about making goals for things like 2022? What have you done already this year, as we're beginning this year, to really bring attention, to really bring passion, to really bring focus to the 2022 year?
Yeah, well, I'm excited to ask you that same question. But for me, the process involves largely writing things down. And so I have a journal that is I'm using probably 4 to 5 times a week. But just in general, I'm writing things down all the time.
Yeah.
I have this little, it's a really sophisticated system. I've talked about it before. It's the sticky notes again. And we're not getting paid by the sticky note creator. But I have different stickies, and as different ideas come up for even, like, for example, CFHA presentations, the minute I have an idea for it, I put it on a sticky. Or if I'm in the middle of a meeting, something pops into my head, something that I've been thinking about for the team, I go ahead and I write it down. And then probably about once a week, I'll go through and assess those and see, okay, which thing is really going to stick and what thing was kind of a fleeting moment. So that's kind of my process, that just kind of writing things down as often as possible and then evaluating them. Because sometimes you have an idea in a moment and then it doesn't really pan out, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would rather take the risk of writing it down and saying later, like, oh, okay, that's probably not going to fit. But there's been things that have been written down, and then 9 months later, we were able to make them come to fruition. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm curious about your process.
Yeah, I think, as we've done reading and just different things, my biggest thing is always approaching things with attention, with really trying to make sure that I'm in the moment, that I'm thinking about these things. And the thing that I tried to do this year was really think about my overarching values that I have, which might be health, relationship, family, friends, and then really spending some time thinking about, like, what was 2021, what did well, and what were areas that I just wanted to do better at, that I wanted to bring more awareness, bring more passion, bring more focus to. And then coming up with very specific, as we would tell our residents to do, as we tell our interns to do, as we tell our patients to do, come up with SMART goals. What are ways I can track this that relates to my value and shows that I'm meeting those things or moving towards the values. So that's what I've done. And I think this past week or so, we've had the benefit of really talking with each other a lot, reflecting a lot. And I think that reflection of 2021 and maybe even past years, even beyond 2021, really has helped set the groundwork for what I want 2022 to be like.
Fully reflect on the previous, kind of get that cemented before then looking back towards the future.
Exactly. And we would love to hear your goals about what you all are hoping to do in 2022, whether it be professionally at your day jobs, whether it be with your personal lives, family, whatever you're working on. Please put it into the comments, email us, and make sure that we know what you all are working for in 2022. So I hope you enjoyed this first PCBH, I guess not snippet.
This is not a snippet. This is a corner,
I guess, of 2022. And we look forward to many more throughout the year.
Happy New Year.